Okay, shalom, shalom, shalom. Kwam yesha Allah ko holoyim la Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bahashim Kahakutash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well there by the Spirit, taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. Shah na Nawaf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And let me start here with Ephesians 4:26. It says, "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath." In the NLT, the New Living Translation, it says, "And don't sin by letting anger control you." Don't let the sun go down while you are still angry. Because what do the scriptures say? Anger resteth in the bosom of fools. I think it's how it's. Let me see. So like, yeah, probably spelling that all wrong. And I'm gonna get off into why I'm doing this lesson. Oh, this is Ecclesiastes 7:9. It says, "Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools." And I like to just really just give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know what I'm saying? Because it lets me know that we do have wisdom when you actually activate. When you go off into these scriptures and you use them to navigate through life, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a super duper beautiful thing, because I came out the house. I was just about to do a lesson. I went to my truck, and of course, you know what I'm saying, somebody tried to take it. Somebody tried to steal it, right? They broke up some shit, you know what I'm saying, steering column, all that good stuff. Key ignition broke and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I looked at it, and I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm still going to do this lesson. I just walked away from I closed the door and walked away from it, and just immediately turned on the record and still got off into the lesson that I was about to do. You see? Because I understand that man's goings are of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That wouldn't have happened unless the Lord wanted that to happen. There's no way that could have happened unless the Lord wanted that to happen. You see? There's just absolutely no way. Because my neighbor, he gets off later at night. I was kicking it with him. And he was telling me, he was like, "Oh, yeah, I heard the truck trying to start. I thought it was you." Because, the neighbors across the street, they keep a lot of shit going. Police be over there. But, and he said they was arguing and fighting and scrapping and shit. But in the midst of that, it's a nigga trying to steal my vehicle. And then he said that up the street from there, the police officers is out on the intercoms telling some nigga to come out the house. So it was all kinds of demonic shit going on right here within my vicinity, so to speak, right? But, the point that I wanted to make is I didn't get mad about it, man. I just went ahead. I done that lesson. I took a couple of photos because it's a mechanic shop up the street that I normally deal with anyway. You know what I'm saying? I showed them what the damage was, because, of course, I couldn't drive it there because they done fucked it up. But, the mechanic shop, they like, "Oh, man, they've been knowing me, because I go through there and I use the wisdom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. I always pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai before I go there as well. I use the wisdom of the scriptures. I go in and I speak like I got some sense. I speak according to the scriptures to them, and they understand that, now they know me like, oh, they call me by name. Oh, what's going on? And they actually really genuinely, even though they were, from a heathen nation, they seem more genuinely concerned than my neighbors right next to me and stuff like that, man. I spoke to the block club leader. He lives right next door to me. And I'm thinking like, can you go back on the footage? I know because he's got cameras everywhere. Can you go back on the footage to around 2 o'clock or so in the morning, whatever? Nah, And then, my neighbor, he's getting ready to peel away. I ain't want to, keep him late or anything like that because he was going to work or whatever. But, he didn't offer to say, well, hey, you going to well, let me drop you off real quick. That's only not even 2 minutes up the street. Let me drop you off, because it was about to rain, because I was about to go back in the house, because at first I was going to walk up there. Then, I was like, well, let me grab this electric scooter out, and I'll whip out on that, you know what I'm saying? And, and that's what I done. But long story short, I went through all that. And this is not the first thing that's done happened to me this week. Within this, it's just been like this enemy has been trying to stop me from doing the work, man. And that's another thing that I wanted to go into. Hey, look, I don't give a fuck what goes on or what happens. These are minor little things, man, when it comes to Jacob's trouble and what's to come. If something like that would piss you off, I get it. You know what I'm saying? No, you work hard for things. You know what I'm saying? You don't want nobody just breaking into your shit. But if something like that can just break you down and you just like, oh man, you know what? Fuck this, man. Ever since I came into this truth, I've been going through, and I'm not gonna front. Ever since I've come into this truth, hey, it hasn't been easy. I remember before I came into this truth, everything was just moving smoothly and gravy. I'm just like, I was out here soon as I came into this truth, bro. I've been going through, sometimes it'll be tougher than others, Sometimes it'll be like, what the, but it hasn't been no let up. I really haven't been able to, sleep like that in years. You know what I'm saying? I used to get all the most peaceful sleep in the world. Soon as I came into this truth, that shit was done with. Ailments, starting to get aches, just shit. But I understand that, that is a part of going, and that's a part of being in this truth, man. So use the scriptures. That, you know what I need? That's a t-shirt, because I've been saying that all along. I've done a few lessons on that. Like, just use the scriptures, man. Soon as I seen that damage to my truck, I was like, man, fuck that, man. I'm about to do this lesson. I hit the record button and went off into my lesson like nothing ever even happened. I ain't even give a fuck. Like, man, fuck this, man. I don't give a shit. I'm about to do this work. And then the scripture goes off into, what's that, oh, and also, the reason why I started to say what I'm saying is because when I was kicking it with everybody that I told, which I didn't kick it with a lot of people about it, but everybody that I told what happened, I would have put some hot bullets in his ass. I would have. So I went to the shop. It's an old man, and it's a Jake. He generally sits off in there. These Chaldeans, they pretty cool with him. He sits up off in there and just have, retired, don't have nothing to do, and just sit there in the damn chair and just be conversating all day. But he telling me about how many niggas he done shot in his lifetime. He was an older Jake too. I shot a nigga in the ass for being in my backyard. All kind. He was bleeding and leaking all up and down. This. I'm looking like, man, But that's the difference between a man of the Lord that's into this truth, and the difference between him and a carnal nigga. Because all these other niggas was like how they would have shot. I would have done this. Well, first off, I wouldn't have been able to do nothing because I didn't know this motherfucker was even in there to begin with. But you know how Jake get down, man. Jacob, searching through the hood. Niggas asking questions. Yeah, such and such, such and such. That nigga, man, hey, he... you hear a little word of mouth. You know who in the hood that's pretty much, that nigga dirty. He'll watch out for that nigga right there. He'll get down on you. So the average Jake, a worldly carnal nigga, man, motherfuckers would have been, asking questions. And anybody name came up, and if they name came up more than once, it ain't even had to come up more than once. Yeah, I know what that nigga at. I'm about to roll up. But that's not my attitude. I'm just like, hey, I know that man's goings of the Lord, and it is what it is. I was a little bit upset right off, but then it dawned on me, like, nah, man, I'm about to do this fucking lesson. That's the way I be seeing stuff now. When shit happen, bad shit happen, that's when I go harder for Yahweh H.I.M Yahushai. And matter of fact, you know what? There's a scripture. Let me see. This comes to mind. Let me see if I can find it though. Yep, this 2 Corinthians right here. Let me see. I think this is it. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me see. I think this is it. Whoo, yep, this is it. Hey, yeah, let me get this, bro. Let me start up some. I might have to get it off. I'm going to start from the top. 2 Corinthians 12:1. It says, it is not expedient for me to It is not expedient for me, doubtless, to glory. I will come to visions and revelations of the Lord. I knew a man in Yahushua Mashiach. I knew a man in Yahushua Mashiach above 14 years ago. Whether in the body I cannot tell, or whether out of the body I cannot tell, Yahweh knoweth. Such in one caught up to the third heaven. And I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body I cannot tell, Yahweh knoweth. How that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words, which is not lawful for a man to utter. Of such in one will I glory, yet of myself I will not glory, but in my infirmities. See? So we glory in our infirmities. We glory when bad shit happens. Like, because you know what? What did Job say? Job said, hey, the Lord giveth and taketh away. You know? Anything that you had, the Lord gave it to you. And he can take it away from you whenever he wants to. And what are you going to do about it? So why are you going to, getting all, upset and all just out of whack about it? Man, just say, all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You want to have that Job mentality, that Job attitude, man. Right? But let's go further. It says, for though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth. But now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me, and lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations. There was given to me a thorn in the flesh. This is the point that I wanted to get into. So Paul is like, this was a thorn given to me in the flesh. He says, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice. He said he went to the Lord 3 times about it. Right? That it might depart from me. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient. This is the Lord Yahushua speaking. It's in red letter, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Check out what the Lord said. He says, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. See? Our strength is made perfect in weakness, man. It says, most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Yahushua Mashiach may rest upon me. And that's the way that I feel. I feel like the Lord is resting upon me, man. I've been going through mad shit this past couple of weeks. I went and bought some new things, you know what I'm saying, to further the gospel. Like tripods and, I didn't need this new Bible, but I really wanted this new Bible. I grabbed it, though, because it's got some really good precepts. That's the only reason I wanted it. And, it was the last one. I kept seeing that last Bible. I bought it from Walmart. I'm like, man, every time I come through there, I see it. I always pull it out the little sleeve, little box. I'm like, man, you don't need that Bible. I've been saying that for about a year. Man, you don't need that Bible. Same Bible sitting there. You don't need that Bible. You got all kinds of Bibles at the house. But I'm looking at the bottom. I'm like, but it's got all these dope precepts. It's got more precepts than the Bibles that I have at the crib. So eventually it dawned on me. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this Bible. I grabbed a new Bible. And, stuff like that. It kind of, it kind of gives you a boost. That first love, when you first came into the scriptures, you got you a little, little something. You're like, oh, man, But like I said, again, I ended up getting just some things for the ministry to go out on the road, man. You know what I'm saying? So I be holding, we hold camp in a whole different area. So I'm most definitely, I want to try and have my vehicle fixed by the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua so I can get to camp. You know what I'm saying? But, right now, I know I could pull up. I could pull up on me and he'll swoop up on me and grab me up. But hey, I mean, it is what it is, man. But I wanted to just touch on this. So just don't let this motherfucker get you down, man. Because there's gonna be things coming your way from all angles, especially, man, if you into this truth. Especially. It's like the niggas that's out here, it just seems like the niggas that's out here that's into no good, don't nothing ever happen to their asses, man. But the Lord, but you know what? There's a buildup of iniquity, that's sin upon sin upon sin. And then, we want to pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that we've done anything wrong or we've wronged somebody. We want to, you most definitely want to pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai on a day-to-day basis. Please forgive me, Yahweh, for anything that I've done, that I didn't intentionally try and do, or the things that I intentionally done. You see what I'm saying? Because I could have let that whole situation with my ride, you know what I'm saying, go to my head. And I could have been like, man, fuck everybody. Sick of this shit. Fuck the world. And that's how a lot of Jake be. Things get to adding up, Tribulations get to adding up. You don't want to be one of those people where, you're being taken away from this truth and just being disobedient to the Lord, because some shit happened, man, to some damn material goods. Because like I said, when I was kicking it with my neighbors, and I was, the people that I was kicking it with, they were just thinking on some carnal shit. I'm just telling them like, hey, shit, that shit don't bother me, man. I don't give a fuck. Hey, the Lord has given me the means to have it fixed, to have the repairs done. And then we move on, man. We just keep it moving. Shit, fuck it, man. I mean, it is what it is. So don't let nothing get you down to the point where, you want to do something. Get yourself in some shit. And it ain't even got to be something physically that you doing to a person that can, have the police called on you or something like that. It can just be you being a certain way that goes outside of the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Everything is not just out here just because we're in a spiritual war. We're in a spiritual fight. And our weapons are not carnal. You can have an ill thought against somebody. You know what I'm saying? You can have, it can be something as simple as that. You can be holding grudges. You holding those grudges, you know what I'm saying, can most definitely, sever you from the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. You don't want that. You just be like, oh man, fuck it. Because the Lord know who done that to the ride. He knows who done that to my truck. Now, if he's found, then, the scriptures talks about sevenfold. We are in the land of our captivity. But we don't have to worry about that because, trust me, hey, the Lord, he handles. The main court system, the main judging system is in the heavens, man, with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It's not with some guy in a black robe down here. The Lord is the one that gives out judgment, man. But he'll use people like that to do it. So, don't worry about stuff like that, man. You chalk it up, hey, man, man's goings of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You find you one of those scriptures where you just, because, hey, all you need is one blow. Them scriptures is a two-edged sword, man. Resist the devil and he'll flee from you. You ain't got to be nothing, you ain't got to be the super-duper expert, though we do study on a day-to-day basis and, I'm trying to study to show ourselves approved, like the scripture says. But had I not known that, then I could be out here, oh man, I'm pissed, mother, this, that, and the third. I'm going in on everybody. No, I'm out here with a smile on my face. I don't give a shit about that shit. This man said, I went to the mechanic shop. The guy was like, he was like, oh man, come, chop it up with me about 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna come get it for you, and don't worry about no towing. Bet, and it is what it is. I just have to pay for the repairs, man. Shit, the Lord will, replace it. He'll do what he wanted, what he wants to be done with it, man. That shit ain't, man. And even if I was out here walking, shit, it's about to be a whole bunch of people out here about to become damn carotene off this boy, man. Just walking with a goddamn stick in their hand with a backpack on soon. So fuck a truck. Never can tell, what's about to happen right now. Because, hey, things are turning up out here. You had that race shit that's going on down there in Montgomery. With the so-called white men jumped on that so-called black security guard and niggas jumping off boats, swimming to the goddamn spot to try and help him out. Hey, Jake about to turn up. There's about to be a lot of shit that's about to happen out here, man. You don't let nothing deter you from this truth, man. That's bottom line right there. So with that, hey, I pray that this lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.